All right, and we are live. Hey, everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Thought I would sit down, do a live for you guys and gals. We're going to do a current events tonight here. Hopefully, I remember to set this to public. I have a bad habit of not doing that. Did we do it? About to find out. Yeah, we're so public. Okay. Hopefully, we get some people in here. Quick reminder, I have all my links here, all my other social media, my OnlyFans, everything is there. Remember to click a like as soon as you get in here. I'm going to briefly discuss the Jodi Vance situation, and I'm going to have some stuff to say about it. It is a tragic situation. Young lady, young bodybuilder, physique competitor. She passed as a result of her contest prep. And Adam, but we need to talk specifically about what happened, because this is one of the reasons I won't get involved in bodybuilding. So I make a choice not to. And people are like, "Hey, Jason, you've gotten a lot better physique since you started getting leaner, doing some physique training, not just powerlifting." Hey, Anthony will probably have some stuff to say to you guys. Anthony will have some stuff to say to you guys. Anthony, you can go ahead and say it if you want. Anthony follows my OnlyFans. But yeah, feel free to say whatever you want about that situation. It's good advertising. So, so she passed away, and this is let's talk about what happened. It's dehydration, diuretics, water loss, and it's tragic. All in the name of getting that level of conditioning they want in current bodybuilding. This is something I've been saying for a long time. This is one of my big problems with the current state of bodybuilding, even natural bodybuilding. It's not even about the gear at this point. It is the level of body fat and how lean and dry they want these people and what they're expecting for the judging. It's not healthy. It's not aesthetic. It's not attractive. It doesn't even look good. People don't look at that and say, "Hey, that looks really good." Okay. So that's the problem. They want people so damn shredded that it kills people. Like it damages organs, destroys kidneys, destroys your endocrine system. And in the case of this young lady, she had a dehydration-induced heart attack, and she's dead. This young woman lost her life not because of the steroids, not because of the size, not because of the training, due to the water cut protocols and the diuretics. And that's sad, because this was a young woman who clearly trained really hard, was dedicated for all purposes, was extremely fit, could have been a great example then to other women, who put in her heart and soul into what she was doing. And she's dead at a young age due to the dehydration and the levels of body fat and how lean they want the people to look. I guess it's a problem, guys. Hey, Alan, and I will agree, but what they want in bodybuilding is even more extreme, because they have to sustain it, and then they need diuretics and stuff sometimes too. So that's a tier further, because Alan, all weight class sports do what you described. And we always tell people with the weight class sports, I agree with Dave Tate, there's going to be a number of times you're going to have a limit to how many times you're going to pull off a water cut. There's going to be a serious limit. And that's, sorry, my nose is itching. And it's going to be every weight class sport. I don't care if it's boxing, wrestling, MMA, powerlifting, weightlifting. They all do that, right? They all doing that. And I'm not saying there are not some health risks to weight class sports. All of us who do them agree. Okay. And we're open about that. And I tell people, like, I did a couple of very aggressive water cuts to grab those state records. They were aggressive. I don't want to do that again. And I've even said, remember what I've said on that? I'm like, I'm not doing it again. Like if I compete again, I'm just going to get lean enough to step into my weight class. If I have to drop 2 or 3 pounds, okay, I'll skip dinner the night before. You know what I mean? Okay, I'll just skip my dinner for the evening. Maybe not drink any water past midnight. And just get up and walk in the morning for the weigh-in if I need to. I'm not going to do any sort of water cut. But then you take what they're doing in the bodybuilding. These are people getting down to extremely low body fats, dieting down for months, then dropping all that water, and they're not just doing a water manipulation in food like I was doing, then they're taking diuretics, right? They're taking diuretics on top of it. And that's so deadly. And I almost guarantee you that's unfortunately what killed this young lady. And we have to talk about that. Might be a dumb question, but why don't we hear about powerlifters rocking like flies like we hear? Because they're not. They're not. I mean, occasional, but it's not anywhere near to the same degree. They're just not subjecting their bodies to all the diuretics, the same level of leanness. The drugs and some of the stuff are a little tamer. I mean, not necessarily the anabolics, but anabolics themselves are not the most deadly thing bodybuilders take. Just kind of see where we're going with that. And I'm not saying a lot of powerlifters are not unhealthy. It's just not to the same tier. So that's what's going on. Let me go through some of these questions. Bodybuilding is not worth it. Atomic, I agree. Anthony says, all I say is Jason's back and eat. So Anthony, are we saying that one of my exes might have lied to trolls? Any possibility of that? Yeah. I mean, it should have been obvious. I have a deep voice and I'm covered in fur when I don't take the hair off, guys. A little bit of common sense. All right. It's insane. She's dead chasing a $250 first prize check and a plastic trophy. Bodybuilding is I don't know if it's a mental illness. It's the level of conditioning that they're in. It's the dryness and the leanness that they want. If they just reeled that in, I don't think it would be anywhere near as bad, to be honest. Like really a lot of bodybuilding would be fixed if they just dropped the level of body fat, the leanness that they want. Tell them, look, we're not going to reward having striated glutes. We're just not. Then they'll quit doing it. We're going to score down for side enhancement. We're going to score down for the bubble gut. Do those three things, and honestly, bodybuilding wouldn't even be a death cult. It really wouldn't. Get rid of those three things, and the judges have complete control over that. That is completely the judging. Right? Get rid of the insulin guts. Get rid of the side enhancement. Score it down. We're giving Chris Bumstead wins when he has a gallon of oil in each of his delts. Very clearly obvious to anyone who knows what they're looking at. I mean, stuff like that. And then stop letting the people get that shredded. Say, look, we're not going to let you get to that level of lean to where we're dehydrating and harming health to get that shredded. Stop rewarding it. It didn't used to be that way. You know? Triff, is it better to be lean, skinny, not strong, or big stomach? So I don't know. How about you just be at a good amount of muscle and be lean? Let's not ask about worst case scenarios. Let's work on the best case scenarios. Why don't we get jacked and lean and strong, bro? That's what I think you should do. Water cuts and powerlifting. Well, they're always going to be a thing. All sports with a weight class do that, Atomic. But we can be a little more sane about it. We can pick the level of risk we're willing to take. Like you can still win powerlifting without doing a water cut many, many times. You can't do that always in bodybuilding. You can just get stronger and leaner for powerlifting. Your top tier powerlifters you won't find won't live past 60, but some of them will. A lot of them are not going to make it, though, to be fair. I've seen some serious abuse. What year do you think bodybuilding? I'm going to say it started getting worse in the 80s. Definitely the Dorian Yates brought the insulin era in. But, I mean, when they started rewarding all the crazy side enhancement, I mean, look at Flex Wheeler, dude. That guy was a bag of oil, yet everyone screamed about his amazing genetics. He was a giant bag of oil, even when he placed second in the Olympia. And then when he lost all his size and you saw the ridiculous, crazy lumps still, it's like, oh, my God. Like that dude was like a 55-gallon drum of oil. They rewarded it. Right? They rewarded it. But also when they started letting them get too shredded, you started seeing it around the 80s, it started getting worse. but it wasn't too bad. By the 90s, though, that level of body fat they started wanting was really becoming a problem. Right? Hey, Triff, are you trying to get banned? What are you typing? You may want to start removing your comments if you would like to continue posting. Why are you typing troll stuff? That's it, you're gone. Oh, well, you better remove it real fast. Yeah, don't type stuff trolls. When you see me banning trolls, don't repeat what they say or you're banned. It's not difficult. All right. I just saw him banning someone for being a crazy stalker or troll. Let me repeat what they said. Well, you're a crazy stalker troll then. Pretty straightforward, homie. All right. Do you think bodybuilders die young during the Arnold era? Because no, they weren't. I mean, Franco made a pretty good run of it. Arnold's still alive. Lou Ferrigno's still alive. How many of those guys are still alive now? Could I get Jack staying at 155 body weight? No. There's no way to be jacked at 155. You will need to gain muscle weight over time. Flex Wheeler was known as the Sultan of Symmetry, but how much of it is in oil? Isn't Frank Zane? Frank Zane is still alive. Frank Zane's still in good shape. Last time I saw Frank Zane, dude was like, I saw some stuff in his 70s, and I'm like, damn, dude, he looks better than most 25-year-olds who go to the gym. In his 70s. I mean, he clearly living the lifestyle. Yeah, he used some gear, obviously, but he doesn't seem too worse for the wear. You see the difference between that and what we're seeing now? See the difference? I mean, Triff, you're going to have to gain muscle weight eventually, but you can do it slowly. I've already told him to just slow bulk from here. Slow bulk, 1 pound a month. Gain 1 pound a month for the next 2 years, Triff. That'll put you up 24 pounds in 2 years. It'll be all lean gains. Isn't it mentally abnormal for someone to want to pursue bodybuilding knowing how healthy? There's possibly a degree of truth to that. I don't think people always fully grasp because they're not always made aware. People are being made more and more aware now, but they're not always aware because they're thinking of, oh, a woman's bikini competitor or whatever. Not as bad other than the water cuts that a lot of them are doing, the diuretics, right? Potentially problems there, man. Definitely problems to think about. So, and the same thing, I mean, women just can't, they can only afford to get so lean. Their endocrine problems are going to be worse than men if they get too lean. Just be aware of that, guys. Yeah. But in this case, dehydration, diuretics. Most IFBB open pros have trouble doing basic daily tasks because they're so heavy. Yeah, they can't even walk upstairs. They can't even walk upstairs. They can't even go for a walk around the block sometimes. Why do you think they're only on the treadmill? Why do you think they're only on the treadmill? Is there a point where you'll get such a low body fat as a guy you will lose strength no matter what? Yeah. When you start getting, probably for a lot of guys, about 8%, 9%, it's going to start becoming problematic at that point. Drugs will help offset it to some extent, but not indefinitely. Is Frenchie gone from YouTube for good? You think he'll be back? He's made no hair. I've gone and been posting links to my my OnlyFans on his stuff. Now, I removed them from his YouTube, so I think his YouTube is set to not allow links. But his, I've been putting links to my OnlyFans just like this. I've been putting them on his other social media, saying all his fans are obsessed with me, and so they should follow me on OnlyFans. So I've been linking it on his Instagram. All you guys should do that too. Hey, all my followers, why don't you guys hop over, since he's not deleting comments because he doesn't seem to have access to his YouTube. You guys should go to his videos and to let his followers know to follow me and to follow my OnlyFans since they're so obsessed with me. Could you guys all do that for me? I would appreciate it. How do you feel knowing that you're back on the carbs? I gained 3 pounds. I don't know that I feel a little more bloated, to be honest. Like my stomach, I got a food baby from all that brown rice today. Not gonna lie, dude, that brown rice gives me a belly in the evening because I'm fasted in the mornings, but it's gone when I wake up. Right. So, I mean, you guys saw the preview, right? Because that was the first thing in the morning. So, hold on. Right. Because that's a pre-coffee pit that I did for the OnlyFans. Hold on. Right. So I don't have a food belly there. Obviously, it's censored out, so you can't see it. But I mean, so I'm looking. I don't have a food belly there, but in the evening, I have a food belly. I don't have abs at all. I have a gut at night. I look like that when I first get out of bed, and then I got a gut at night from the brown rice. But I feel like my workouts are better for it. I feel like the carbs are helping, especially with me adding the cardio in back in the higher amount, because I did an hour of cardio today on camera. We're hoping Frenchie has been deported along with all of the other illegals, maybe. I feel like my training work capacity is a little higher, Matt. It's not dramatic, but it does matter. Like when I'm doing the higher rep stuff at the end, I feel like I can crank out more pullovers, more leg extensions, band work, all that stuff I do for volume at the end. I do feel like I have more work capacity with the more carbs. And that's going to matter for the body composition and muscle growth. Like all the tricep work and stuff, I need my triceps bigger. It will help. Also, Frenchie is over 20% body fat easy. What do you think? People think he's a good physique. He's not really. I don't get it. Because he's got weird followers and he sold them a cult-like idea. One aspect of bodybuilding not enough people talk about is the unhealthy obsession with their physiques. They have an exhibitionist tendencies and get paranoid about every feature on their body. Right, Alan, and then people get upset with me. Hey, Adam, Anthony just told you in the start, didn't he? No, dude, people have been paying for the unlocked version, but only members of the OnlyFans can get it unlocked. Yep. I figured I might as well. The thing is, everyone's going to accuse me of it. Plus, I'm an exhibitionist anyways. Here's my thought. I'm not shy. As a good friend of mine, one of my chick's friends had said the other day, she goes, why don't you just show it for money? We've all seen your penis anyways. She's like, I know like 30 people who've seen you naked running around at parties in the day. Like we've all seen it. She's like, the whole world's seen it. You might as well get paid for it. I'm like, you're right. So, and then that kind of dispels nonsense all these haters say, doesn't it? He's got a micro penis. I bet I got 3 inches more than the people saying that. So, all right, back over to the point though. But yeah, I'm not a shy person. I don't care. I'm going to make my money. I'm a businessman. Most bodybuilders Photoshop their pics too. They have severe body dysmorphia. And that's Adam, what I do. Adam, people get mad at me though for not being shredded, but I'm walking around in shorts, dude. I wear shorts on camera every day, year round. No Photoshop. I don't have magic lighting. You guys just see what I look like year round. Why don't we normalize more of that in the industry? Why do these influencers have to be, I can't be seen with my shirt off if I'm not perfect with the perfect lighting. Oh, we need some Photoshop. Man, just show how you look. Quit being so insecure. Because they don't really look like that. I mean, Alan, when you think about it, all these guys, they don't even look like they look on their social media. I've met some of them. You guys really think Jeff Side looked like he looked back in the day? Dude, he looked like a toothpick in person. I could fit him in my left thigh. That's why he ran when he saw me. He's like, oh crap, Blaha's like 70 pounds heavier than me. I need to get out of here. after he threatened to hit me. It's like, you don't want anything to do with me. But this insecurity, that's why I'm just like, guys, it don't matter, man. I just trained in a pair of shorts. King, I am single. I am single. I'm not saying I don't talk to some girls and date a little, but I am single. I don't want to be with anybody at this moment. Like, I need some time single for a bit to work on some stuff, you know? But Alan, I appreciate the support always, brother. Shy people and people that are afraid all the time never get the prize in life because they hide out because of fear. Exactly. How big are the guns, coach? They're probably 16 and a half right now. What body part? Probably my lats, man. Women vary. Dude, I get compliments on different stuff. Some of the women like my legs. I get women who like my chest, arms. The back gets compliments. I've definitely got compliments, but women like the chest. For some reason, like when you look like I do and that shirt's off, like the mouth goes for the nipple. Just saying. They'd be like, ah, ah, ah. All right. Being confident is a superpower. Hey, Jason. Jason, you ever thought about having kids from Juggernaut jars? Yeah, they do like butts too. SD, I don't really want to get into all that. Bachelor Life is the best life coaches too, spreading them white oats through Texas. Women like arms and nice, but they do usually. But guys forget they're thinking nice arms. They're thinking, oh, I got to have pro bodybuilder arms. I get compliments on my arms by women, and I don't have amazing arms. They're my worst body part. But by normal standards, they're pretty dang good. They get compliments. Chicks love a nice butt too. Oh my God, they do. Hanging with chicks is G, coach. I cover. What? Holding hands. No, it's not, dude. Holding hands and cuddling is intimate. Dean, you sound like that Andrew Tate guy. Women love to develop back, especially when you can sort of see the outline. You know why that is, SD? Because it creates the V taper. It makes your shoulders look wider. Lats make your shoulders look wide. Hey, Dean, you sound like Andrew Tate, though, man. That's the stuff he writes. Andrew Tate actually wrote that. He wrote a whole explanation of why. He said that men who kiss women are gay. What sort of deluded thinking is that? Okay, King. So what's your problem? And I'm not going to talk about any of that in detail. I'm not going to talk about that in detail, but what's your issue? So what are you concerned with? All right. Arms are still better than 99% of the general population. That's why we get compliments, because the general population doesn't judge you by pro bodybuilding standards. Coach living the pimp lifestyle. I don't know. I don't know if I'm a pimp. I was like, man, one of my best bros was like the other day, Jason, man, I always saw you as a pimp. Why are you a hoe? I'm like, I don't know, man. That hoe life. Hoe is life. I heard a chick say that once. Everybody knows straight men only kiss the real life. Andrew Tate is at the UFC event tonight. Coach is free to get busy on his own time. Who said coach is free? All right. I think I saw Coach at a UFC fight in Austin a few years ago, not 100% sure. I don't think it was me. Probably was not me. I've never been to a fight in Austin. On a lower volume approach, would you still count full range of overhead press towards chest and volume? I don't know that I would know. His lifestyle is definitely underrated. Lifts weights all day. Doesn't have a single woman weighing him down. Yep. No, I mean, I will not stay single forever, guys. I need a little time single, though. I need some breathing space, you know. No, I don't really follow fighting that much. I did watch all the stuff from the Mike Tyson thing, and I actually enjoyed like the lighter weight, those lighter dudes. I actually enjoyed watching that fight. So I don't follow any fighting closely, but I will say those were some good fights that whole night. I mean, other than obviously the fake exhibition thing with Tyson making him a quick 8-digit payout. So you got to give the man credit. You got to give the man credit for that 8-digit payout to take a lose. That was a smart move. The rest of the fights that night were actually really good. Like I thought the other fighting was really entertaining and good. There was some good stuff up that night. Both the men and the women, right? Even though the alpha male term is a bit cringe, I'd say, coach. Maybe, yeah, the term is a bit cringe. Stay single, do you regret when you're back? No, not really. No, you only date the girls who are going to stay fit. That's the thing. Only date the ones seriously who are going to lead a real fitness lifestyle and understand their mindset. Definitely important. You don't want to let themselves go. More money than he's made fighting actual dangerous fighters was a no-brainer for Mike. He knew he wasn't going to get hurt. Exactly. Because honestly, say what you want about Paul, but right, say what you want about him, but I think he had a lot of respect for Mike, and I think he's like, I've made enough money. I love Mike when I was growing up. I want to play Mike Tyson Punch Out in real life and help the man make millions like that. Adam, I know plenty of women who lived, dude. I know plenty of women who lived. Keeping in mind who I am. So maybe you got to work. Why don't you guys, do what I do and put up some spicy pictures on social media? All these guys ask me stupid stuff. How do we meet girls, coach? And then when I put up stuff that a bunch of women were drooling all over social media, did you guys catch that? How many women were drooling on social media? How many? Between all the groups I posted on, all the Facebook posts. I put that up. All these women are drooling, and the dudes are like, that's great. Oh, that's inappropriate. I'm like, that's why you guys don't get hot lifter chicks. Because you think that's inappropriate. Because you think women don't like it. Because you think it's not hetero. That's why you guys don't get pussy. That's why dudes are like, we can't be girls. You don't do stuff that women find attractive. Grown women. Because you watch some video from a dude on Looks Maxing who's told you how to get teenage girls. No, you need to do stuff that grown women who work out and take care of themselves find hot. What type of picture on your OnlyFans? The same stuff there, and then we go tier. It's all tiered at this point in Atomic. So I have stuff that would be calendar level PG-13, but not Facebook friendly, is on the main part. Plus anything you see on Facebook or social media will be there. Then anything beyond that's a next tier up. So if you want to see anything more, I've started doing it. I've only done one, but people are paying for it. They're buying it. In fact, one of the people who was posting in here bought the picture. You got a tip for those. So, it's all tiered, but everything will be pretty well PG. The top tier, full nude. I did one already. I've done one, but only members have access, and it costs $10 for the picture. And I'm going to do $10 for every one of those pictures. You want 17 of them, you're going to cost $170. That's how it works. So it has all my stuff on it. And so what if they redo it? Technically, OnlyFans does go after some of those sites for it. But see, the thing is, they're going to have to pay for it anyways. And people who are actual fans are still going to come through and pay for it. Okay. They're still going to come through and pay for it. And if they're out circulating it, then I get to make fun of all of them. So if they do take it and they're recirculating it and doing stuff with it, I would point out to people, number one, it's probably not an order. They may have altered it. So if you want to see the real deal, because they might do stuff to where they're going to Photoshop it. If you want to see the real stuff, then you're going to have to still come to the original. 2, then I get to make fun of them. I get to make fun of them for sharing my penis everywhere and for looking at it. While they're saying stuff about me, it's like I get to clown all them. Yeah, I can't wait to see why Frenchie will justify why he's sub to it and why he's bought the pictures. Why he has pictures of me nude. It's purely for research purposes to disprove his Nietzschean superiority and his anti-degeneracy stance. He had to get copies for both him and Strap-On Destiny for them to analyze, you know. Yeah. Robert says, "What's up, coach?" But yeah, so speaking of that, where you guys go? So yeah, you already saw one person kind of comment there. That no, the lies that people are telling are not true. That no, coach does not have a small penis. That's nonsense. All right. And I said, Frenchie is natural hypertrophy. Hey, everybody, this is natural hypertrophy. Today, we're going to talk about Jason Blé and Matt Rollet, just French accent. I do the rice bucket challenge. That guy. That's who Frenchie is. We call him Frenchie because he claims to be French, but he's actually Algerian. He was born in Algeria, by the way, for those who are unaware. He's an Algerian national. But yes, he was in the U.S., but he may have been deported. That's a possible rumor. ICE may have gotten him recently. So he's gone MIA online. It's so insane, bro. Has like 30 hours of videos just talking about you before I even knew who he was. You just scorned him in anyways. Yeah. Frenchie's recent Instagram post, his shirt pulled up and saying, "So when women wear crop tops to the gym, it's cute and a feminist statement, but when I do it, it counts as potentially deranged." He is a weirdo. I mean, look at the videos he made about me. Look at the thumbnails he made. The guy made pedo thumbnails about me. So that's already where his mind is. The dude did blackface thumbnails and put me up in blackface on there while calling me a racist. The dude did all this stuff, and it's like it's projection. It's very clear he's in the closet. It's very clear he's a cuckold. It's very clear he's minor attracted. It's very clear he's a racist. His thumbnails and the stuff he projects onto me show it. He's literally making thumbnails of the stuff, all of it. Yeah, but I've had crazy exes. None of them have been as unhinged as he is towards you. Exactly. So, Robert, I don't even want to repeat that term. It's an awful thing, isn't it? I mean, yeah, that's what they call it. It's disgusting, quite frankly. I think that's the best term to describe it. It's disgusting and it's inappropriate. It's just not cool. Let's put it in that. Let's just say that's really not cool, bros. You know, 100% pure projection dude was an incel. He admitted it to himself. F knows what degenerate stuff he's into that makes him virtue signal so hard. Exactly. The dude you virtue signal, it tells you everything, right? Do we see that all the time? Look at those mega church dudes, right? How many of those guys at the mega churches who get on this giant homophobic spiel? They make such a big deal about it, right? Turned out, we had like 3 of them, didn't we, over the decades, who they got up and spouted all that they were going to burn in hell. And then it turned out they were all had a man lover on the side and were hiding it. While they're standing up talking to, a church of 2,000 people about it. This is projection. Based on his recent Instagram post, he also sounds like one of those red pill incels who can't get laid. So exactly. Like, why, dude? I don't get any of that. That's why I don't buy into the red pill or MGTOW. And I don't disagree that they make a few good points. Like, I'm not saying they're 100% wrong. They take it too far. They take a couple of good points, where you go, yeah, you guys have a couple of valid points, right? Let's be fair, they do. They do have a handful of valid points, okay? But they take it too far. They take it so far to the point of absurdity. It's like a dudes who are overly aggressive towards homosexuals because they can't accept. And that's what it comes down to, man. It really does. It really does. I mean, we're in 2025. It's not even considered a big deal socially anymore. It's just not. You know, people want to make a big deal. I get it. People have their religious reasons and other stuff. NH believes he's moral because he claims to not have taken gear that somehow makes him a good person. Yeah, there's definitely some weird, because that's how we define a good person. I mean, that's a perfect example. I can name you guys someone who we all know is clearly on gear, who has done amazing, benevolent, kind stuff for people that most of us would struggle to top. I mean, take John Cena. Let's take John Cena. Let's take an extreme example. Guy is clearly on plenty of gear for decades, lots of it. If you think he's natural, you're immoral. You're a blithering idiot. Let's just leave it there. You're a blithering idiot whose opinion shouldn't be taken seriously if you don't think he's on gear. What has John Cena done, though, in terms of what we would think of as actual, really genuinely good, extremely good behavior? How about all those Make-A-Wish Foundation stuff he did? The man has the highest number of appearances showing up to be kind and make an appearance and meet and sign stuff for kids dying of cancer. Right? He has done more of those than any other human being alive. He holds the record for showing up in cancer wards to spend time and sign stuff and to make the day of dying children dying of cancer because they get to meet a famous person who they saw on TV, and he takes time and spends time with them. He has logged more hours on his own time, not being paid for it, than any other person on earth. He has the record. Now, I'm going to go on a limb and say, that's a pretty damn good person. Let me state that again. He's not even getting paid for it. He is showing up and has given thousands of hours of his own free time to travel to hospitals of children dying of cancer to meet them so that they can meet a famous person and sign some stuff with them and talk to them and to make their day when they're all like a week or two from dying of cancer. And he does it on his own time. He holds the record for it. Like, you talk about having a record. I have the world record in, spending time and making the day of children dying of cancer. Wow. Okay, you look at that and go, he's a better person than I am. Right? Step back and look at that and go, he's probably a better human being than me. He uses gear. I have friends who smoke, and of course I don't advise anyone to smoke, but it doesn't mean I'm going to act like a judgmental prick towards them. The same thing with gear users, right? It's good to see a cosmopolitan strength athlete who can discuss a wide range of topics. Kudos, appreciate it, man. But I mean, I think that's seen as an interesting example of that. Guy clearly on gear, but you look at that one thing he's done. I mean, the guy has the record in it. He's not just done lots of it. He is technically the record holder for the most number of those visits and the most hours logged doing it on his own time. Anybody on earth. You got to look at that and go, how many hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of children dying of cancer did he make their day? There's a millionaire already. Okay, that's pretty high on the list. I'm just saying that's pretty high on the list of good deeds of being, that's a good human being. All right. What is the most amount of food you ate as an athlete? Probably those post weigh-ins after a couple of those UK meets after making weight. I cleared like 12,000 calories after, which was stupid. I did 12,000 calories after one of those weigh-ins. Your use has zero connections to a person's morality. It's your body to do what you want, doesn't hurt people. NH has dedicated hundreds of hours to just hating on someone that makes YouTube videos. Exactly. And literal hatred, literal slander. I mean, SD, he didn't just hatred. The guy made up malicious slander. Let's go out on a limb. He didn't just hate on me. The guy falsely accused me of being a neo-Nazi. Literally. Up to and including putting me in blackface in the thumbnail. I've never worn it. He made it himself. He literally made an hour-long video accusing me of being a pedo. Okay? Completely fabricated. Multiple things like this, stuff like this. I mean, wow. And I'm talking outright fabricated lies. Like in court, that would stand. A judge or a jury would look at that and go, that's just straight defamation. Well, I heard it somewhere. So you made a video that got 100,000 views because some trolls on the internet told you that? That was justification for slander? That's not going to stand in court. Bro, imagine making hours of content on someone just speculating and imagining them being terrible, and you really think about it, it's eventually a red flag. Yeah, he made stuff up, or some of it was stuff he was told by crazy trolls that they made up, that they fabricated evidence. But just because you believe fabricated evidence doesn't make it not slander. Okay, that's what courts have ruled in the US when it comes to that. Repeating slander doesn't make it not slander. So if someone defames someone else or slanders someone else, and then you publish it, republish it, you all get sued. Make sense? So for example, let's say I make up the rumor somewhere and then I pass the rumor on and it turns out to be complete slander and they accepted it without verifiable evidence and they publish it. That's still actionable. Well, I believed it. Believing it's a defense if you had a real reason. Trolls saying it on the internet, trolls making up screenshots, trolls manipulating evidence isn't believable. Like that's not going to be good enough for a judge. It needs to be real proof that you believed it, like actual really believed it. And not because you're a gullible person who believed trolls on the internet. You saw it in a YouTube video. Yeah, but that video was already defamation. You just repeated defamation. Therefore, you committed defamation legally. That's how it works. It actually kind of goes downhill. So if you actually could catch all of them in one suit, let's say they all lived in the same state or under the same jurisdiction, you could actually include all of them. And then the judge will just make individual rulings on how much each one owes you. Okay, MI7 dude. Only the weird YouTube fitness spaces he accepted. Do you really think a chick would see the dude's content and think, yeah, that's a man for me, spending hours obsessing over another man and not bathing and having nasty, dirty hair? Any implications of putting a bodybuilder on a full-blown powerlifting program every week during a contest prep? No, I don't know that I would do that during contest prep. Probably wouldn't do the full ME on contest prep. Unless they're Ronnie Coleman, because he would go and hit 800-pound deadlifts 2 weeks out from the Olympia, but they're not Ronnie Coleman. Slander is not reported to authorities, Adam. Slander has to be filed in civil courts, and it has to be where the person lives. So, for example, I live in Texas. It has its own slander laws and courts. And let's say you live in, I don't know, Michigan, and you slander me. I have to report you through the Michigan civil courts. I have to hire a lawyer who is licensed to practice that specialty in the state of Michigan. They have to file it through the Michigan state courts. Make sense? If it happens in Quebec, I have to go through the Quebec court and hire a lawyer in Quebec to sue through their court system under their rules. Texas is really hard for slander. Like for me, man, like for example, had Lane Norton with the lawsuit he pressed in the UK, had he done that in Texas, that's why people are like, you better be careful, he could go after you in Texas. He'll have to pay me $1 million if he does it here. The state of Texas will force him for wasting their time, will force him, they'll penalize him and confiscate his stuff and give it to me. Because that's how they do it here. So in Texas, you can't do the sort of the thing that he did in the UK. That would be what he did there wouldn't stand here. And the way Texas works for defamation, once you file it, you have to win. If for any reason you drop out, you lose the case, whatever, the state immediately fines you and awards that money to the person you tried to sue for defamation. So my lawyer here who I've talked to for this told me the real money in the state of Texas is to get sued for defamation. You're more likely to make money being sued. He's like, I make millions of dollars more for people getting sued than I do for actually suing. He goes, you're more likely to make money. I know it's messed up because they have serious free speech laws here. You can't use the courts to silence their free speech. And that's essentially what he did. Right? Thought you were working out this late according to your thumbnail. No. I only train in the mornings. No, it was a default loss. I wasn't even invited to court. I don't want to go into all that again, Robert, but what he filed in the UK, had it been filed in Texas, he would have had to have paid me money had the exact same circumstances been done over what I was sued for while living abroad in the British courts. Make sense? So that's an example of it would have been a default win for me here. He would have had to have paid me. They would have gone after his assets. You can't do that nonsense here. All right. Even though we know it's nonsense, did you ever try super slow rep training? Nope. It is nonsense. Someone needs to find an HSL Denso forum post since he's like judging people on their past. Yep. So what else we got going? There's a link to all my stuff again. Remember, guys, the OnlyFans. That worked last night because so if you guys recall, it was funny, and that's why the dude that Anthony posted here. I put up that thing yesterday. He went and followed my OnlyFans, and he literally paid for the picture. And he was like, it was his response was hilarious. He was like, he literally put in a comment, "Your girlfriend was a lying bitch." Like, yep, my ex-girlfriend. Yep. I mean, again, common sense should have dictated that. Common sense. Like if you guys get the impression of that, then you don't read people very well. I mean, I tried to imply that before. I was kind of, I'm above average. You know, it is. All right. But whatever, man. I digress. The clients appreciate it, man. The clients were coming along well. Some of them have vlogs. So we still do vlogs, some with Justin. Alex, we're doing vlogs. Alex actually looks better than that thumbnail now. We're going to do a physique update for him in a couple months. So for Alex, and Alex has got, I need to do Alex's vlog by tomorrow. I just finished Matthias's vlog. I need to upload it. I need to do Alex's tomorrow. I have all the footage. But yeah, I mean, clients get results. I mean, I put up clients who squat over 600 pounds in the past. All right, evening coach. What's up, Lars? How you doing, homie? Yep. But apparently that got attention when I was just like, let me get in the inbox here. I was just like, yep. Just me announcing that because that's what people wanted, I guess. It's like, there's the censored version. That's what coach looks like first thing in the morning before coffee, by the way. All right. That's on the OnlyFans. Yeah. The multiple people have already paid for that picture, apparently, and they were all happy with it. Well, That's how I'm going to do it. Like I said before, I'm not even going to be shy anymore. Who cares? I'm going to make my money. I'm just not going to do stuff that I'm uncomfortable with. Now, people can hate on that all they want. I made money completely covered already on it. Then I'm going to do a little bit tastier stuff like that. And I don't have to go hardcore like Vegan Gains. Remember when he said, Jason will make a single penny without showing all his junk? How much? It's $10 tip. But you have to be a member already. So you kind of see how that goes. It adds up. It's a business. Vegan Gains puts stuff in his booty hole on camera on OnlyFans. Vegetables, toys, all sorts of stuff. I was already getting followers showing nothing, and then now I got followers who are willing to pay for a single picture. A single picture. And I don't have to do anything like that. I market it to women. Dude, you're going to follow. Dude, you're going to pay. It's marketed to women. That's why I have a mix on there. But at the end of the day, man, it's money. How to stop overthinking, coach. Quit overthinking things that you don't need to overthink. How much vegetables per day is optimal for health? It's going to vary. I mean, at least a couple servings. So like for me, for example, for me today, I had 2 whole sweet potatoes and I had an avocado plus a little sprinkling of broccoli, right? A little sprinkling of broccoli. But if I go a little more fat, I'll do 2 avocados a day. So, I mean, really, what are you looking for is going to be the minimum to make sure that you get 100% of your RDA from things like vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K. So look at your vegetable intake and make sure that your intake gets you the full RDA on those 3 things. It's usually a good baseline. That's going to vary depending upon the type of vegetable and the individual nutritional value. So your fruits and vegetables should hit those targets. That's optimal for health. All right. So yeah, now you guys know the details on the other. I don't see anybody else signing up though. Nobody signed up from this stream. I just had someone ask me though how much I would charge. Y'all ready? How much I would charge to be shirtless playing my guitar in a video clip. Are green powders a decent enough substitute? No, not at all. Not even close. Best way to get big arms, you should train them. Heavy compound movements followed by isolation work. In other words, do some bench pressing followed by some extensions. Do some pull-ups followed by curls. That's how you build big arms. Progressive overload. Recommendations to build core strength for senior citizens who are so weak they cave and can't hold 10 pounds on a box squat. Can they do any planks? If not, just have them do crunches on the floor. Do something. Can they plank at all? I'm not going to discuss how much I've made. It hasn't been a huge amount, Adam. Right? Hasn't been a huge amount. But that picture alone so far has made $40. It took me 30 seconds to make it. So, but I'm only charging $10 a piece for people who want to see it. Pays a couple of bills, yeah. Why is ever so who's ever? But I mean, that's not counting obviously the memberships. So it's $15 memberships for everyone who joins per month. So that's the idea. It'll pick up though. I mean, I've just started it. Give it a little time, name recognition, get more people talking about it. Why is everyone? People are just weird music. People are weird. We know this. The real money will come. You do more. I don't know that I need to go that much more daring. Coach, have you thought of raising the price of OF? No, I think the 15 is plenty. Yeah, but Adam, it's not going to be my main income stream, so I don't need to do that. My coaching is always going to be my biggest income, I suspect, unless one of my social medias really blows up again. I think getting a female co-star is definitely going to happen. Well, if one wants to do it, I don't have any current offers. Right, I don't have any current offers, and that could be problematic when I do get in a relationship again, unless they want to do it. If you could only train one body part from here on out, what would it be? Trigger pull on the person stopping me from training the other body parts. Easy solution. So just one finger. Think outside the box. Might have to double tap because they might not get the point. All right. Is the penile pick worth it? My wife is wanting a pick. So far, everyone has been pleased with it. Everyone is complimented. There's been like a very nice immediate reply to everyone who bought it. You already saw one person in the stream. He was actually the first person to do it. It was kind of funny. His response was hilarious. So he even came in here and said it right at the start of the stream. It's up to you. Do you want to buy it for your wife? It's all good. If she's not a fan of me, though, she might not care. Might be for the true fans. Up to you, though, homie. You'll have to join first. So you have to join, and then you have to tip for it. Or ask me to send it through, and I'll just send the payment thing. Alternate question, if you could do one exercise, what would it be as if the most complete overall lift? But why would we want to do that? Why do we want to do that? Why do we only want to do one lift? I mean, you could ask me what my favorite lift is. Isn't that a better question rather than these strange limiting situations? My favorite lift is the deadlift. And if we could deadlift every day without recovery issues, I would totally do it. Yep, Adam said it. For those missing it, do confirm Blaha's packing heat. Like I said, everyone who's seen it so far was happy. I'll probably do some video stuff later too for people to claim whatever Photoshop. It was literally just a quick snapshot right out of bed. I'll do some video stuff later. That'll cost more. I'm a businessman. That's what I said the other day when Lobliner was trying to talk trash. It's like, but Mark, you're a businessman. I'm a businessman. My name is worth money. My name has controversy around it. My name is known. Whether people hate me or not, they know my name. Juggernaut confirmed. Yep. Is deadlift still a reasonable exercise as a bodybuilder? I mean, I'm not massive, but when you go look at the bell curve of what averages are, it's the average even in the US is like smaller than people think. Like 90% of guys are in a range that most people don't realize is actually smaller than you would expect. People get too skewed from porn. Dudes really walking around thinking 6 inches is average is just statistically not true. Like that alone is something like top 12% of the population, literally, in the United States from what doctors have measured. So, is deadlift still a reasonable exercise as a bodybuilder? I think it is. Average you, oh God. I think I got that beat limp. Probably not. I don't know if I had that beat by much limp. But we're talking fully, tertied, full mast. Now, average in the US is something like 5.2, actually. Yeah. Yeah, you had mentioned that Congo to find 6+ as an average. Yeah, true. I think there's 1 or 2 nations. No, I don't do any of that, Paul. I'm actually not into that. So, Paul, again, contrary to the rumors, is someone who is actually very open about this stuff. I'm actually not shy about it at all. I'm actually not into that. I don't fully understand, other than, again, their own obsession, why trolls have pushed it in that direction. I'm kinky as hell. Don't get me wrong. Dude, I'm kinky as hell. I'm not actually into that. Unless it's a girl with a finger. I mean, I'm cool with a finger. right? I mean, we all like that. But no, Paul, I don't do dudes. I'm actually 100% straight. I don't judge. I don't hate, right? I literally don't think there's anything wrong with it, morally or socially. But I'm strictly taco, no burrito. It's just what I prefer, homie. Our rack pull's still bad for the bar. If you go slow negative, they still can be. So why are you doing above the knee rack pulls? No, and you need to be careful. If you're going to do below the knee rack pulls, you need to be very picky on what bars you use so that you don't destroy the bar. So you'll still destroy deadlift bars, but ST, yeah, it's projection. Like, I mean, if you were to ask me if I like a certain thing, and a lot of people go, "That's gross as hell," I'm still going to say yes if I'm into it. I'm just not into that. They got it wrong. But my haters are obsessed with it because it's their thing. It's projection. So that's the thing. Like, so when that comes up, I don't actually see that as a negative thing. Like, if I was into it, I would totally admit it and I wouldn't be embarrassed by it. Make sense? Just like when someone asked me something, like, I really like women's armpits. That's like one of my things. I love sweaty armpits on a woman. To me, that's hot. Super hot. All right. All right. I know I don't have any disrespect for Doug. Doug and I are friends. I mean, that's his Adam. I respect the hustle. I respect the hustle. Doug is making his money. I'm glad to see Doug's making money. Paul, I'm very aware. Even people on there who follow are like, dude, you'd make a lot of money. They've told me that. I don't know if I could go through with it. I don't have a moral issue with it, Paul, by the way. Let me be clear. I don't know if I could physically go through with it. That's the problem. Morally, I have no issue. Zero. Hell, that's money. Money that doesn't hurt anybody. I don't ever have a problem ever with a person making money with any business venture that doesn't harm anybody. Go for it. Hate seeing this a-hole rack pull above the knee in my public gym. Oh my God, 2-inch range of motion playing in the gym motor. You can see a few other bars of a king. Yeah, dude, it destroys bars. That's a problem. That is disrespectful to the equipment. That's disrespectful to the gym. That's just bad ethics, right? It's bad ethics. So again, let's talk about harmful stuff. Above the knee rack pulls cause harm. You're damaging other people's equipment that other people need to use, that other people in that gym want to use. You're damaging the gym owner's equipment. That is harmful and disrespectful. No, Paul. You know what? Let me ask you a question. Are you a Christian? So if you tell me you're not a Christian and you're going to pose this to me, we got a problem. So give me a yes or no. Do you believe in Christ? Because I'm about to call you on this. So if you don't, then why do you care other than you're just trying to be a hater? So are you a Christian, first of all? And don't try to jump out of this chat. You started it. It's real easy to type yes or no. Take you 5 seconds. You could have already typed it. What's the issue? Okay, I'm a gay Christian. It's very confusing. Okay, so you're a Christian. All right, let me ask you a question. Take the Jesus as presented in the Bible, not other people's interpretation. Jesus would not do it above the knee rack pull. I'm convinced Jesus Christ as presented in the Bible would not do it above the knee rack pull. All right, next. So take the Jesus as presented in the Bible, not man's interpretation, just purely the Gospels as written, the 4 Gospels, right? Just that, those books, the life story, the only life stories that we have of him. Okay. You ready? I'm going somewhere. Going somewhere. When the crowd of people was going to stone Mary Magdalene to death for being a prostitute, what did he do? Anybody remember? he stopped the crowd from executing her and told them, "He who is without sin may cast the first stone." And then he reached out to her and told her, "Come, woman, get up and come follow me." Okay. Spared her life. That's the only example you have of anything related to prostitution at all in the written story of Jesus Christ as presented in the Gospels. Okay. So let's go somewhere. So based upon the only mention and only example you have, let's assume for, not even talking about posing nude, let's talk about prostitution itself. With that as the only written record you have, can you see the Jesus as presented in the Bible condemning a prostitute to hell? Based upon the writings you have and the only example you have. And I mean, this is a serious question. That is the only reference you have to it. That's it. That's the only single reference you have anywhere in the story of Jesus with anyone involved in a sex trade. That's the whole thing. There's nothing else in there that he said or did on the matter. So based upon what you have, do you believe that that's the case? Now, people are free to believe what they want, but I'm going to go based on what's written there. Here's the thing. I'm not even selling anything to anybody. I have pictures on the internet that I'm getting paid for. Well, that's the thing, Adam. I don't think you can. I think you're born that way. So I don't have the answer to that question because I'm not a theologian. And I can't tell other people how to live their lives. But when someone asks me about what they think I'm doing, it's like, well, no, I am not worried. Now we come over to the other thing. Let's set aside all the Old Testament. I mean, did Jesus even mention homosexuality even once? So let's go look at that. Do you have a single reference? Let's not talk about other stuff. Let's talk purely about the man, right? What did he say about homosexuality? He never brought it up. He never mentioned it even once in any of his sermons or any of his teachings that we have records of. He never even raised the topic. It's almost like it didn't seem important enough to him to discuss. But then if people bring up the Torah, they bring up the Old Testament. I'm like, yeah, but man, you could get stoned to death for shaving your beard. It's like, I'm just saying, do you guys mix different types of cloth together in your clothing? It's in that same set of rules. Do you shave your beard? You're not allowed to shave your beard off, by the way. Do you know that you can't physically make physical contact with any woman on her period? You can't even hug her or be in the same room with her. Just saying. It's in the same set of rules with the other part there, right? You know, you can't eat dairy and milk and meat together at the same time. You can't have them in the same meal. You can't eat pork. You can't eat a catfish. Well, are you talking about living in sin, or are you talking about are they condemned to hell? Paul. There's a big difference. I don't have all the answers for you, dude. Yep. But we're well past the hour. So I'm going to go ahead and wind this down. I love all you guys and gals. And I will talk to you next time.